Alrighty, folks. Like I said, I'm in the middle of the editing process here, so I'm here just to introduce part two of the concert series, and there will be a third part, and that's it. So hope you enjoy part two. Now, obviously, I love Death, but surprisingly, the band that I heard around the same time, or maybe even before Death, was actually a Death tribute band called Gruesome, fronted by Matt Harvey of Exhumed, and they finally announced a tour, and I was like, shit, I gotta go see fucking Gruesome, man. So I went, and they did not disappoint. They tore it up. I love Exhumed and Gruesome, both, if not equally as awesome. And Exhumed, either last year, like 2 years ago, they played a date, and it was my favorite show of that year. And Gruesome came to town this year, and they fucking tore it up. It was incredible. They had an awesome set. I knew a lot of the songs, and then they ended with two Death covers. They did Infernal Death off of Scream Bloody Gore, and they did Living Monstrosity off of Spiritual Healing. And it was awesome. It was a small little crowd, pretty intimate. It was just sick as fuck, dude. And they had badass merch. Yeah, that was a really cool show. It was really intimate, really awesome, and just sheer fucking death metal. And they had like two other bands that were a little bit smaller open up. Immortal Bird was pretty unique. And then Cartilage, if I remember correctly, is just straightforward death metal shit, and they were both fucking awesome. So yeah, that was a really fun tour, really fun show. All right, we're gonna kind of change it up a little bit, not doing a metal show for this one. And that's if you guys know me, I love Fleet Foxes. I think I talk about it sometimes. I do post stuff on Instagram talking about my love of Fleet Foxes, but I don't really talk about it here. But they did a big tour because they released their fourth record, like 2020? Yeah, in 2020, and they're finally touring for it, and it was awesome. They played a lot of stuff from Shore, their latest record. They played a lot of stuff from their first album, which those two albums are my favorite of theirs. And then of course they mixed in some other stuff too, some other albums and some other EPs. But it was just incredible. They had a drummer, a keyboard player, a horn section. It was really an ensemble, really, and it was really cool. It was a really awesome show, and they had a screen. And usually I'm not a big fan of screens, but they actually showed a lot of cool stuff from like the Shore movie and just kind of interesting visuals. It was a great production. It was a lot of fun, and it's at one of my favorite venues here in town, Best Sound in Town, I think. And it was awesome. And there was a lot of honestly a lot of banter with the crowd, a lot of in the moment stuff. Like people would scream out songs, and he'd be like, "Ooh, do I know that one?" And he'd play it, and be like, "Ah, well, we'll add it to the set later." It was just really cool that it wasn't just like, here's the set list, I'm gonna say this phrase in between this song or whatever. It was pretty spur of the moment stuff. So I don't know, it was cool. It was a cool vibe, I guess, if you want to use that word. And it was a really cool show. So yeah, glad that they were able to get out and tour finally that record. All right, back to the metal. All right, number 7 was the Decibel Magazine Metal and Beer Fest in Denver, the Denver one. 2 days of mayhem, a lot of local bands, which I think is awesome. A lot of them I actually hadn't seen before, so it was really cool. I'm trying to think of, I didn't write it down for some reason, who was there, but Wayfarer I had seen before, and they were good. They killed it this time. Like I liked them when I'd seen them previously, but that show was like really fucking good. It was just overall awesome. And they had like indie merch was there sponsoring stuff. Nuclear Blast Records was there, so I got like a Death Flag and a Typo Negative record. They had patches, CDs. They had it all, man. It was really cool. I didn't get the beer tasting thing, but I heard that the people that did were like, "Oh yeah, that was really cool." So yeah, 2 days, just incredible. And I finally got to see Skinless live, dude. They only played old shit, like first two records, demo, EP, like just kind of their 90s stuff, man. and they fucking killed. I was like blown away. They were so good, and I was like right up front basically. And it was awesome. Everybody was just like, holy shit, it's fucking skinless. So that was awesome. They did like all their classics, you know, Tampon Lollipops and the Optimus and shit, and it was fucking awesome. And then of course Cannibal Corpse was there too. I had seen them earlier this year when they did the Metal Blade Records tour, technically, I believe was what that was. And I think seeing them that time I liked more, but just the Decibel magazine as a whole was awesome. And it was the first time I was front row for Cannibal. So that was fucking sick. Wish they changed up the set list a little bit. It doesn't really seem like they did for this tour. They only flipped like The Time to Kill Is Now and Scourge of Iron. Like they flipped those two around so that Scourge of Iron was the opener, which was fucking awesome. No complaints there. But I wish I heard something a little bit different this time around. But I'm not like complaining. That's like a nitpick. But yeah, you know, it was Cannibal Corpse. Like it was fucking awesome, and they had sick merch and all that stuff. Like it was overall was awesome. Pig Destroyer was a killer. I didn't like Dark Funeral too much until I saw them live, and I was like, holy shit. But yeah, Immolation, like it was fucking awesome. The whole thing was just fucking awesome, dude.